everyone. We are live, and we're gonna walk through. Hi, hi everyone. Hello, everyone. We are live, and we're gonna walk through. Oh, I had the video playing in the background on YouTube. All right. So, cool. You wanna pull the volume down a little bit there, Hoppy? I feel like I'm yelling.
Oh, this is fun.
So, this is Digital Experience Team's first live stream, and today we're gonna walk through how we're gonna do a nav release. So, we're gonna walk through and actually push a minor release to the marketing site. So, I will pass it on over to TMA after Hobby turns that music down. There we go. Nice. So TMA, I'll just pass it over to you, and how about you talk about what we're releasing today?
Okay, so hi everyone. We are going to show how our Nav Release works. So we have basically 3 steps. The first one is publishing the NPM package. I'll be showing this one in some minutes. Second step is updating buyer experience in www repo with our new version. This John and Miguel will show to you. And the last part is updating our navigation package JSON file. So what we are releasing today, I will share my screen with you. Oh, I cannot do that. You cannot start screen share while other participants sharing. Wait, no one is sharing. Great. Oh, now I can. Awesome. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So first, those first 2 are from Megan. She's not here, but basically what she did was replace the embed base with 6sense, and then she made the nav pod faster, the second one, and the 2 are related. These other 2 are also related. One was made by John, and the other one by Javi, and the 2 are related because right now we have the nav, our language selector in our footer and nav bar. If we try to navigate from, for example, French page to German page, just by typing the URL, we couldn't, because we had a token making the redirect. So right now this is not going to happen anymore. But we will show this happening in the end of the call. And also we removed the button of contact an expert, because this button shouldn't appear in our homepage, but it was appearing in the other language homepage. Now it's not happening anymore. And also we had a horizontal scroll bug that was happening because of this button. In all the pages that had this button, we had a horizontal scroll bug in a specific window size, and it's also not happening anymore. So yeah, those are the links for our related MRs. And yeah, I think that's it. Right now I will be starting creating our new version package. Okay, so let's go. So this is our, just close this one. This is our navigation project. And as you can see, I already updated our version. Let me check, where is it? Oh, it's first one, right. Yeah, it's here. But I didn't create this package yet because we were using an alpha version to test it. So I can create it right now and you can see it in action. Super amazing. So let's do this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm the right repo. So what we have to do is, since I'm just checking if I am the correct branch. I am, okay. So we need to publish a new, actually, first we have to run this command here, because this one will create our this folder.
Well, look at all that terminal command go. We are building the internet right now. Still building.
Yeah, that's it. And now we can publish. So awesome. We should have it. So let's check right now.
Does it work all like right away? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really
Yeah.
cool. That's really cool. Internet things, like, so cool.
So now we have it, and everyone can use it. And actually, I will just commit this update to our navigation release, because we have the MR right now. I'll just update, and then John will show the next steps. Okay, so I just need to push it. Let me check if, maybe I already pushed it. I think we just need to approve it.
Yeah, show us that MR in the navigation project.
Yeah, I think
Right there.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, yeah, we have the update here. I think we can merge it right now, Laurie, or do you think we can do it?
Let's wait, because let's make sure that our release goes and
Okay,
everything's cool. And then
sure.
once it's good,
Okay.
then we'll merge it, 'cause-
So
yeah.
Awesome. So I will now pass to John so he can update the other repo with our package.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to walk through the process on the buyer experience repo. As you may know, we have two repos. One is tap, and the other one is buyer experience. And in this case, I'm going to update the new navigation version in buyer experience. So let me please share my screen real quick. Okay, so first I'm going to go to the navigation release MR. So this is my buyer experience repo in my local machine. I'm going to go to that branch where we are going to release the new version on buyer experience. And here we have it. Now the new version for navigation is 4.1.0. And we install the new version in order to create the log files and update the package JSON file.
And what is Yarn, and how are we using it?
Oh yes, Yarn is our dependency configuration, or it is a command that we can run in order to install all the dependencies that we have in our project. So in this case, we are updating our B navigation dependency on buyer's experience to a new version. So every time we update a new version, we should run this yarn install command. After that, the yarn log file will be updated, and this yarn log file has all the configuration that the server needs to know which versions to download when installing the dependencies. So right now we are updated our navigation project to the new final version, and I should push these changes. I use WebStorm to do this kind of stuff. So, okay, we're releasing navigation 4.1.0, and let's go. So I usually don't do this stuff in terminal, but I have this fancy tool with my ID. Okay, we're pushing. Takes a little while, sorry. Let's open, in the meantime, VMware in my browser.
John, I think we can only see actually your
Oh, my
your code
ID.
screen. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me change it. Okay, so the push is done. Let's see now the browser. My God, I have a lot of stuff open. Okay, this one. Okay, so now you can see
Final Fantasy.
Oh, sorry. Okay, now you should see it. I should have the browser. Okay, so we have the navigation release MR ready. Here we have our no, sorry, it's not updated. Let me, oh, I'm not on the correct. Let me see that merge request.
Yeah, I think TMA, she started a new one. So let's make sure we.
Yeah, but if it goes to any of them, the link between them is correct. So
This one, this is the correct one.
Yeah.
And right now,
See the pipeline building. Yeah.
yes, we have a pipeline building right now. It takes some time. So I believe we can pass it over to Miguel to do the same thing in .dot. And while the pipeline finish, I can continue with the demo.
Yeah. Do you actually, John, while we're on this, can you actually demo a little bit what's going on in the review app here?
Of course, yes. So right now we have a pipeline that is the one that builds, configures, and creates our server where our buyer's experience project is located. So right now we have these 5 steps in buyer experience pipeline. In this case is to install the dependencies that I mentioned before. Then check the code to verify everything is correct and following our standards. The next step is to build the whole package that will be served to the users in the production environment. Then we are going to run some tests in order to verify that everything is working correctly. And finally, the review app is deployed to the internet. So after this last step is deployed, we can check the review app. We have a review app already deployed previous to this meeting. This review app has some of the changes that TME mentioned before, like, for example, we have our language selector here in English. You can see the URL here also in English. But if we check the language that I selected before opening this URL, I selected French. What was happening before? Right now in production, if we go to the homepage, but my selected language is French, like I'm showing you in this example, the page automatically goes to the French homepage. In this case, we keep the user in the English page, even though the user has selected the French language. So you can see it like this. For example, if we go to the German version, the page will show the German navigation, the German page, the German footer, and the German selected in the language selector. But the user's preferred language is still French, but the user won't be redirected mandatory to that French page. We also did a fix in the English version of the homepage. Let me go to that version of the homepage that we had between, in this size of the, this one. Okay, here.
Exactly, not in the homepage, John. If
Oh,
you mean
okay,
the
sorry.
horizontal scroll, it's in, for example, sales. You can do it in sales.
Thank you so much. Yes, so we have the talk to an expert button. Previously, in this size of the page, we have a scroll, an horizontal scroll. As you may see right now, we do not have horizontal scroll, so that is fixed also for this release. We also have the sixth sense change that we can test like this. ODNs equals SMB. So right now we are checking our audience with a tool called Sixth Sense. And with this tool, we can verify what is our user type, if it's a small business or enterprise. And depending on that, we show a different image and customer success story here in the resources tab. And finally, we have dynamic redirections in our links in the navigation. So we change it to static links. So right now, if I step here on TeamOps, we see that we are going to be redirected to the TeamOps English version of the page. But if we go to another language, we should statically see that we are going to be redirected to the German version of the TeamOps. If you go, see at the left down of the page, you can see that the next URL is TeamOps, but German version. So we have now static links on the navigation. And that's it. The last one, but is right now building in the pipeline, is we want to hide this button from the homepage in localized versions, for example, in the German page. But after this pipeline finish, we can see that change. But this button here shouldn't appear on the homepage. But if we go to the English version, the button is not there. After the pipeline succeeds, we can see that that button won't appear in any localized version of the homepage. That is it for me. If you want, we can wait a little bit to the new review app to finish, or we can continue with the repo demo.
Yeah, let's wait for this pipeline to finish. And when it's ready, let's smash that merge button so we can release it to production. And
yay!
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So let's get that. Let's wait for that.
The timing is perfect. So we have right now our new review app, updated review app. So if I go to the French version of, so it seems that we have some cache issues.
Oh yeah, the cache. DNS, it's a stickler.
Yes, sometimes it takes more than expected, so we should keep updating the page.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, no, it worked. It was a matter of cache.
Internet
So,
thing. Servers
internet.
around the world talking to each other. Where
So right now,
where are you based, John?
oh, I'm based in Colombia. Oh, you see here, the button disappeared. So yes, I'm based in Colombia. I'm doing localization for every language except for mine, but maybe in the future we can add Spanish. Okay, so everything worked as expected. We have all our checklists complete. So this checklist means that the default behavior of the navigation has been thoroughly tested before this meeting. So all minor things and all links and all buttons have been tested in all browsers. So everything is ready to be deployed to production. So in order to deploy, we need to first resolve some threads that we have here. This is one, and this is the other one. We should approve this MR, and then we can merge it.
Semantic. Oh.
Oh, yes.
Semantic commit. That's okay.
We missed one thing, one little thing. Sorry about that. We needed a semantic commit, but okay. Sorry about that.
We'll add it to our change log later.
Yes, sorry about that. So that's it for me. We are now deploying our navigation 4.1.0 into production. Right now we have another pipeline running right now. Let's see the pipelines. Let's see pipelines where I can see deploy here, releases. No, with this new GitLab, I lost where are the pipelines. Could you help me, please?
Yeah. I think if you go to buyer experience, like the project root, like the project repository, there you go. We see your
Yes, we have
name, your icon, the branch, and there is the pipeline. And so this has got to do all the same stuff, but it's going to push it to main, which is production.
exactly. So right now we have our pipeline running to deploy to production. So in a couple of minutes, we can see all these changes in production. And that's it for me. I will share it. I will pass it over to Miguel.
Yeah, thanks, John. I think I'm a bit delayed. Maybe my internet connection is not the best. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I will share my screen and we will do the updating versioning in the dot repo, so we can have the latest navigation version that TME published to NPM. And yeah. So can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, my computer is a bit slow. Yeah, so right now we have this MR, which has the latest changes to the navigation. So now we want to update this version to be just 4.1.0. And so we will go to our VS Code. We don't have WebStorm here, but VS Code. And since this repo is huge, it takes a little bit. So everything is a little bit delayed. Yeah, so we will have to go to our package .json file. Here we are right now at the branch for that MR. And we will look for the navigation package. Is that right?
Yeah. See your screen, show us that BE navigation.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little bit rusty on the process. But yeah, so now we spin up a terminal, and then we install this new package and update the yarn.log file. Yeah. I hope I'm not forgetting some step.
Oh, you're all good. Yeah, can we go over like why does this project take longer to pull stuff down and push stuff up?
Yeah, so this is kind of like the legacy repo that we have for the marketing page. And there we have like lots of different things combined, like, for example, internal pages like the handbook or the blog, which is like a big module of the page. So having all those things besides the marketing stuff, the normal pages of marketing, that makes like everything is like multiplied. So that includes the pipelines times, and also for local development, it's a lot slower than you will be used to. So the idea is to break down this big site and bring stuff where it belongs. And so that's, for example, we will see in the review app that the language selector is not implemented in the handbook pages, because that effort it's being focused on the marketing pages. So those kind of stuff where we need to change, we need to add a new feature. It's easier to do in the buyer experience repo, which is just the marketing pages, and it's a lot easier to manage than this dub repo. So yeah.
Good job. Yeah.
Now, yeah, so we have the log files, and now we want to push these changes to the MR. Should I do this?
Yeah.
This doesn't belong here. And
I just started using VS Code, and it's so cool having terminal open with your code. It blew my mind.
What did you used to use?
I liked Sublime, you know.
Oh,
I've been on Sublime for about 15 years, and
I didn't know that Sublime still exists.
yeah, I was old school, and I love my Sublime, and I did not want to leave it. But I like VS Code. I finally made the change when it was time for a laptop refresh. So I figured why not just change it all.
I think we have an authentication problem with this repo. So I will handle this real quick. Yeah, so what we did there is just commit our changes to the local version. And when I tried to push, I was unauthenticated for this repo. So I will solve this just real quick.
Yeah, if you stay like just too long without using www, this will happen. This happened to me a lot.
Interesting. I haven't seen that one before. Yeah, and then once we can see the MR pipeline building with those changes, since the dub takes so long, we'll have to wait for the changes to change in the MR, 20-ish minutes. And then it's a whole nother 20 minutes to actually deploy to production. So we'll, at that time, we'll pass it on and pass it over for the next thing. Are you authenticated yet, Miguel?
Not really. We can debug live if you want to.
Yeah, let's debug live for sure. That's why we're here. We're doing it live.
Yeah, so I try to add my SSH key, which I usually do, and it still asks for username and password and HTTP authentication. So I'm not really sure.
Let's get profile stuff.
Other thing I could do is use a web IDE to make this change and don't deal with all these.
Yeah. Show us web IDE.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I love web IDE.
this is handy when you are dealing with environment issues in the dub repo. So this is like a container that runs it runs containers workspace in the cloud. So you can select the repo that you want to use. So here we want to use the dub repo.
I've never actually used Git pod. I usually use just the web IDE, but this will be really interesting to see.
Yes, this one is new to me also.
It's handy. It's handy because it runs on the cloud, so you can see like your changes.
We might still need to wait for all of the pipeline stuff in Git pod.
Yeah, for sure. And since I don't do this recently, it could have like a fresh restart.
There it is.
So here we can also open our terminal, copy the branch name, make all this stop because automatically it will try to build everything. But we don't want to do that. Takes a long time. So here we will just switch to our okay. So we git fetch probably.
Ooh, that might take a long time. This is a huge repo.
Yeah, it's a good idea to brew some coffee.
Here, how about heading back to the MR and the changes tab and like, let's see if we can actually use the single file or the web IDE to make this change. So if you go to the changes tab.
Okay.
Oh no, we can't do it because we need to do yarn install. Oh, that's the tricky. Yeah. Because I was thinking we could just bump that version right there, but we can't yarn install from there. Interesting.
Yeah. Oops. Other stuff.
Okay, well, I think because this repo is very, very large, it's going to take some time to get Gitpod and that environment up to date. So let's hand it over to Javi so he can show since our buyer experience navigation release, it's probably on prod now. Did that pipeline finish? And then we can demo the things live on aboutgitlab.com.
Yeah, so
yes. Oh, sorry.
oh no, you're good.
Yeah.
It looks like it finished, right? Yeah, so if I check it, yeah, so let me share my screen real quickly with the folks. I'll just share my whole desktop. So this looks right to me. Let's see. Let's play with this. This is where we see that. Oh, of course, this man gets in the way while we're doing this, but this looks right to me, folks. What do you see?
Yeah, let's try the navigation, the language selector, because that was
that's what I was gonna.
big one.
Yeah. I was like, where'd it go? I was like, let me
I
get
know.
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little nervous there for a second. I was
Yeah.
like,
When you push something and you see that production is broken, it's every dev's not happy moment.
yeah, I was like, let me get out of here for a second. It looks like this is fine. I'm checking that these links are static, and it looks like they are.
Yeah, I like that. The enterprise page is a really good one because that does have languages, but the whole point is that once you're on the French homepage,
yeah,
it'll go directly to the French enterprise page from the nav.
Yeah, this looks good to me. What do you all think, team? This looks like it worked as expected. So
Yeah.
a couple of things I did want to talk about, especially as we're waiting for some of the Gitpod stuff figured out, is why we chose to have the buyer experience navigation be separate from this repository. As you kind of saw, we were switching between the buyer experience site and www. Really, like, our decision to have that be a separate package came down to we wanted to value having those two repositories stay in sync with each other. When we first moved over to the buyer experience site, there was, for one, less stuff on it. And so then the decision of keeping those two in sync came with the essentially, like, we want the handbook to stay in sync. We want the blog and everything else that doesn't live in a buyer experience to have the same navigation. this is existing behavior as we had before. So essentially that's our reason why. There's probably a future where we don't necessarily need to do that anymore, especially as the handbook migration is happening. There's stuff with the blog that's moving along. We will assess that at a future date. I don't really think we're in a position to really say like what we will do in that future going forward, but just in the reality that we live today, this is the process that we have. I think there's probably a desire to simplify our process if it makes sense for us, but we'll get there when we get there, kind of thing. One thing to note is that when we're using the NPM, they use semantic versioning, and so we as a consequence are also using semantic versioning for that package. I just wanted to quickly like talk over that real quick. So when you have semantic versioning is like the numbered package that you saw when we were editing the package here. So if I go say to, let me go to buyer experience, and if I go to the package JSON, you'll see all these numbers. These are corresponding semantic versioning numbers for all of these different dependencies. If we go to BE right here, you'll see that we have 4.1.0, which is the package version that we've published right now. The first number is corresponding to a major version, and this is talking about like essentially changes that are non-compatible or /breaking. The second number is just like minor changes that we will want to do, and then the smallest number is just bug fixes. And so that helps keep us organized in terms of what packages get pushed out where. It's really easy to switch between different versions. So if something breaks in one, we can go back to the other. We've ran into that in the past with our workflow, especially with updates having to fly, pretty quickly. Having, the ease of being able to switch between various stuff is very helpful. So, yeah.
Can you explain a little bit why this release was a minor, not a patch?
So in our workflow now, really like what we have is that decision comes down to the person who's directly responsible for the nav release. From what it looks like to me is that this was adding functionality that, well, it was undoing functionality. I wouldn't say it's adding, it's undoing functionality that we were trying to get smart with. Once we realized that some of this like automatic like route detection thing for the most part is not great for SEO, we decided as a team that it would probably be best to move away from that. That I think falls, at least for me personally, also falls into the minor release category. So whoever did that, good job for following that in the right bucket. But it's a kind of a gray zone sometimes, and I think it comes down almost a little bit to like what we're doing. I think it's a little bit of a convention thing as well, where it's like we could just make everything a major release if we wanted to, and some people operate by more loose interpretations of the guidelines, but I think the way that we've done it works for us, and that's how we've been doing it thus far. Yeah.
Awesome.
How you doing, Miguel?
The Git pod container. Actually, I think that the fetch finished.
All right.
But also TME updated the version already, so I guess the pipeline is running.
Ooh, show us.
Yeah.
Show us that beautiful pipeline. Whole time from Bush's baked beans.
Oops, yeah, so sharing my screen. This is the pipeline on the top repo. And as you can see, we need to run quite a few tasks. Yeah, for buyer experience, the handbook, we have uncategorized pages. We also have the linting process, the unit testing, the secret detection, all awesome features that can offer GitLab with their CI/CD. The images and yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and hand it back over to Hobby to jam us out with some sweet, sweet tunes, because now we get to celebrate. I think you gotta stop sharing your screen, Miguel, when you get a chance. And we can celebrate this minor nav release. As you can see, it's quite involved. It's not just one MR and one merge. It's 3 repositories and NPM, and it takes everyone. And there's all kinds of testing. Like with the nav release, there was 5 MRs that were also getting released. So
Also
huge.
the checklist that you have to go through that
Yeah.
we didn't go here.
I know. And we've caught some really big things. That's why we have that checklist. While it is large and it's a lot of work, because you have to do it for each, buyer experience and the dub, we caught some pretty big bugs by that checklist. So it's great to catch them in the MR and not see them on production. All
By
right,
the-
cool.
But by the end of it, you already know all the features by heart.
Yep. All right. So we'll see everyone next time.